That should be the end.
Put that Done.
Hello, welcome to Pop Along RC, the RC car channel dedicated to RC car racing, and we have got a goal to get you guys out racing as well.
Oh, yes, we do.
We do indeed.
Now, listen, right? You know when we did the Pop Along GP?
I do.
Right? If you don't see it, we'll put it in the description. Watch it.
It's some footage from
We're
the day.
going to do
amazing.
one. We're going to do one a year. So whether it's on road or off road, we don't know yet about next year's one, but we will do it. But when we did it, there was a nice guy there, Matthew Heath. Now, Matthew Heath, a bit of a legend in the old RC game.
He is MTC national champion.
Yeah. So he handed me on that day a car, a DT class, their beginner class. He said, have a go at this, right? Now, I grabbed this car, and I have never driven a car that did exactly what I wanted it to do as soon as it went on the track. I won my race, didn't I? Yeah, for a bit, yeah. Now, it got me thinking, right? So, I actually think that me and you are all right drivers. I think the thing that lets us down, I'm speaking on behalf of both of us.
Do it.
Is car setup. I'm still kind of finding my way around the car, trying to get it right. That car that I got given was set up. Now, I said to him, what did you do to it? Well, not a lot. He did. Because it was absolutely planted. So, you know, car setups, we know that anyway, it's really important, but sometimes you're shooting in the dark and you don't really know what you're doing to get the best out of the car. And I think that's where we let ourselves down, if I'm honest.
Yeah, and that's kind of where we're going to come on to with this video is, if you're a regular to the channel, you will know that I've been struggling along with my TLR. Now, there's a reason why I'm struggling along, and we're going to get into that in a second. But when you get a car like this, you've got a choice. You can jump online, and you can Google some setup sheets, and you can copy it exactly, and you've got a car set up like the pros drive it.
Yes.
I didn't do that.
No, you didn't. Why did you not do it?
Well, the thing is, I didn't build this car. You spent a month building this car.
Yeah, but you can't rush perfection.
It's not perfect.
Yeah. Get on with it.
Anyway, so from day one, I've been having issues with getting this car around the track. Since day one, I've been struggling with this car, and this is why, basically. So, this is the TLR 22 5.0 Elite, but it's got D and a C, which stands for dirt and clay. Now, I've taken a dirt and clay car, and I'm trying to run it on carpet. So, therefore...
Here come the excuse. That's an excuse, is it? Is that what you're going to come up with?
No.
Oh,
bear with me. This car... By all accounts, if I put it on a clay or dirt track, it is amazing.
We don't have them in this country.
We don't. We have carpet. So I'm trying
grass,
to get...
or astroturf.
Yeah, I'm trying to get this to run on a surface it's not designed for. Yeah. So, the problems that I'm struggling with, really, the main thing is understeer. Now, you actually had a go at this car at Silverstone, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, wow, it does understeer.
It was understeering, no doubt about it. But then again, you see, your settings on your transmitter, I wouldn't have my settings the same as that.
So again, that's another
Which is
little
again,
thing.
really, if you get a setup sheet and go by it, it might not work for you. Your style of driving might...
Yeah, your reflexes might not be quick enough to have a car that can snap in super fast. And we definitely drive slightly differently.
Matthew Tonks, right? Nice guy. He watched your car and he knew instantly what you needed to do to make it better.
Yeah, and that's the key thing, isn't it? They know just by looking at a car what needs to be changed.
We don't. That's the problem. We need a pit man. We're fumbling in the dark.
So, going back to my original point of I could have gone online, ripped a setup sheet and literally just set it up like that.
You could have done.
But in doing that, I'm not really learning the car.
No.
So what I've done is I've gone through the process. So I've been changing one thing at a time, and slowly I'm seeing the car develop, and it is getting better. But the amount of changes I'm making, again, I only get to make a few changes a night if I'm changing one thing at a time.
Yeah.
I only get 4 rounds, sometimes 3. So it's going to take me a while to get this car to where I want it to do. You said it was struggling with understeer. I think actually that's the best it's ever been. So you should have tried it a couple of weeks back. It was an absolute shocker. So by actually doing these little changes, I'm learning what I can change and how it's going to make the car behave differently and things like that. So therefore, in future, when I get a new car, I know what changes I need to make because I know. And it's the learning process.
It's the learning
I'm actually
process,
learning the car. I'm learning the craft rather than just copying what someone else has done and not really understanding why I'm doing it.
Very good point. And I think that forgot what I was going to say. But you know what? Modern technology is quite good. There's a couple of good apps that you can use, isn't there, at the end of the day? But it still goes back down to getting track time. And the thing is, because we pop along, we go to lots of different places. For example, the last track we went to, Silverstone, the most grippiest track I have ever run on. Without
I was
question.
getting grip roll with this.
So
thing. It was
my car
bonkers.
was good at DMS, all right. Took it there. It was grip rolling and doing all sorts of weird stuff. And I was like, got to do some tweaks here. I kind of navigated my way through the night, and I kind of knew what to do. But I weren't that fussed because, you know, there were some amazing drivers. There always is. You know, I normally sit in amongst the B spinal somewhere. And
you were in the B again this time, weren't you?
That's
And,
about right. Yeah.
And I was in the C final, so we're in the similar sort of place where we normally end up. So
listen. The main trouble with that car is understeer.
Yeah.
That's it.
It is. So should we go through some of the things that you can do to increase the steering? Now, the understeer is at its worst on throttle, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So what happens when you accelerate? It wants to shift the car back like this, which means the front wheels start to lift up, which means you've got no steering. So one very simple suggestion was raise up the rear shocks, lower the front, so when it drops down, it's dropping down, but it's not actually lifting up. So that's one thing you can do, is make the back ever so slightly higher than the front. It's quite a simple one. Makes sense. I'll remember that for future. Yeah, increase in the shock angle by laying the shocks down at the front has definitely helped. And then the next thing was all about the roll centre, and this is the one that's been taking time. And it's about removing shims and lowering and raising up the shims. Now, my initial focus was all on the front end, and I was doing that, and it was getting better and better and better. But what they suggested is do the opposite at the back, which then loses grip at the back, and it makes it come around even more. So we've done that. The next thing we've had to change as well is I've changed the rear setup, so I've got less toe in now. I'm almost dead straight at the back.
They say that
now.
you want to get 0.
Yeah, whereas when this was originally set up, there was quite a lot of toe in at the back. Cutting down the rear wing is another one, because again, you've got less drag and less force coming over the back
You've also
wheels.
put more weight up the front. You're basically doing everything.
We've got, so I've got the weight underneath the electrics, and I've got the brass weight at the front there. So there is lots and lots of changes that I've been making without spending any money. That's important, because sometimes rather than work on a car, you can just throw more money at it, can't you?
You can.
If I was to throw money at this, and you know what, I might have to, there are some more changes that people are suggesting. So they're suggesting that the 4-wheel drive rear arms are better than the 2-wheel drive rear arms on this, and it helps with exactly that, getting the car to turn in. I've also not got any anti-roll bars on this car, which, to be honest, I find that's a little bit strange that it doesn't come with them, to be fair.
Maybe dirt and clay just generally don't
need it.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe not. But on carpet that was as grippy as what we went to the other night, you need them really.
So yeah, anti-roll bars probably need to get, and the other thing as well, this has got ball diff.
That's got a ball diff, and people keep saying that we need to get a gear diff in it, which they're probably right.
Probably right. I know people do kind of judge us, I reckon, when we turn up at clubs on our driving ability and where we come. But you know what? I'm on a very different journey to you at the moment with this car. I am on a learning curve, whereas your car's it's up there already, isn't it? You're
Yeah,
a
it's
little bit
going
ahead.
all right. I think
A little bit ahead of me.
I just need to get better at driving.
Yeah.
Am I going to get better at driving? Do you ever reach an age, you think, where that's it, you're not going to improve?
You start regressing.
God,
Possibly.
I hope not.
Maybe.
I don't know, but we genuinely don't do it enough because of other commitments and whatnot, and we do so many disciplines, which is good because we get bored very easily, don't we?
We're sticking with this hobby, but it's good that we've got so many different classes
Yeah.
we can jump between.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm actually quite looking forward to getting back to the M chassis racing with the old Mini, but still on this learning journey with the buggies. Massive thank you to Chris Delves. You've been an absolute star with the advice and guidance you've given us on the Lossy. I've still got a few more things that I need to do on the list of things that you've suggested. Comments from you guys as well. Lots of comments. Again, we've been trying to act on those.
We have.
Mostly our comments are quite positive, aren't they?
They are. Is that it then? Are we done? Can I go home?
Well, do you know what? We've got some changes to do to this car because we're going to another new track tomorrow.
We are going to another new track. Yes.
Daventry, I believe it is.
Daventry.
So,
That's very lovely. I've heard good things about Daventry.
Yeah. Speaking
My
of
great aunt Flo used to live there.
did she?
Yes.
Wow, there you go.
Yes, she used to live there. But we lost her a few years ago.
That's very sad.
Yeah. She didn't die. We just took her to Asda and she just got lost.
Oh, fair enough.